Believe it or not, I was 87 or 85 pounds. I was super skinny as a teenager. People say, oh, bodybuilding is dying. Oh, everybody can get a pro card. Oh, it's easy to get pro card. Oh, it's too many shows. It's not like that. Bodybuilder is not for everybody. A lot of people think, oh, no, I am bulking, I am off-season. No, you're not. You're just fat. That's what it is.
And are pros supposed to compete more often?
We need the pros to compete more often. So I'm doing 7 meals, 8 meals a day. Right now, I have no fats, and I start with fish, and I ending with fish. We have to be very creative. I try to do fish nugget. I try to do fried fish. I try to burn the fish, boil the fish, whatever I can do, but everything is fish.
Don't forget about your big cheat during the day with a quarter cup of blueberries.
Oh, yes.
Why so many meals?
That's what we do as a professional. I hate fish. I hate it. I really hate it.
I just remember asking a lot of questions, and I was like, can I eat this? And my coach was like, nope. And I was like, well, what about this? He's like, nope. He's like, why don't you just follow what I sent you? And I'm like, everything on there doesn't look very good.
Right.
First of all, what a workout we got in today, huh?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fantastic. Did some chest and some shoulders. We really got after it.
Yeah, it was a good workout, good pump, actually, good energy. Sometimes it's great to have it different kind of energy, different kind of environment, and motivate you more, and it's definitely inspire you more.
A lot of times you work out by yourself?
I have a workout partner, but most of the time I work out by myself too, it doesn't really matter. I have to do the job.
You're going to get the work done no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, I get the work done, You cannot rely to anybody, It's nice to have a workout partner, but, if you don't, you have to do the job no matter what,
Has your mindset changed becoming a pro bodybuilder, or have you been this intense kind of the whole time?
I always been working out intense, but definitely my last prep, to when I get my pro card, my mindset definitely changed, the way that the lifestyle is, the way that the dedication, the detail, like I was told you orally, the suffering, everybody see the body, the smile, and the muscle, but nobody really talks what is behind the curtains, what is behind that door. And behind that door is not pretty. The person that say that is pretty or is not suffering is not doing the thing right. That's as simple as that.
Do you think a lot of bodybuilders might otherwise have mental health issues if they weren't able to express it through fitness?
Yes, actually, yes. I meet a few pros that they have mental issues, including myself sometimes. Sometimes I go to depression
to the fitness
get it to so we express ourselves in the gym. And, most people call us a gym rack, or most people call us unhealthy, but we are one of the most healthy people, that we watch everything, We have the ability to burn fat and create muscle, that's very difficult to do, and it's not easy, So to do that, it takes a lot.
Yeah, I guess the unhealthy side of things would just be that professional bodybuilding can be taken to an extreme.
Exactly. Everything, every sport, I take it to the extreme, not necessarily bodybuilder, but every single sport, it takes, the extreme to be the best, and to compete with the best, it takes to do something that not very many normal people can do.
Rico was just telling me something off air that's going to kind of blow your minds, I think, a little bit. First of all, his dad was a bodybuilder.
Yes.
And in addition to that, his mom was a professional surfer. Now, that's not the most amazing part. The most amazing part is that Rico here doesn't know how to swim.
I know, that's funny, right? I never learned how to swim.
I was like, do you know how to surf? I got all excited. He's like, I don't even know how to swim. I was like, shit.
I know. Not even from early age. I never know how to swim.
Yeah.
Never did,
Damn. Did your mom try to get you out there to do any of that or no?
I don't think so. I think she tried, but she was not patient.
If she's a pro, she doesn't want a little kid.
Yeah, she surfed when
slowing her down.
In her younger days. She surfed for the professional, surfer in Peru, and and my dad was a bodybuilder at that time. He was very dedicated to the gym. People don't know that about me, so my genetics coming from there. And then, and then the hard work. That I am not saying genetics is everything, but I'm saying, is the genetics play a little part, but hard work can definitely be genetics too. You know what I mean?
How long have you been lifting since your dad was a pro bodybuilder? When did you start?
I've been lifting for 20 years, and I've been competing for 14 years.
Whoa.
You know, when I start, believe it or not, I come in from Peru. I'm original Peruvian and Brazilian. I was, believe it or not, I was 87 or 85 pounds. I was super skinny as a teenager. I was bullying a lot as a teenager, you know, in my town. You know, they make fun of me. They call me noodles. They call me all kind of names. You know, I mean, you can see my back and you can see all my ribs in there. You know, and that was part of how I grew up. And you know, unfortunately, in Latin America, you know, I mean, I was in the middle class, no middle and poor class, but you know, it's hard, you know, to success in Latin America, and so. You know, when I grew up, my childhood, it was a little bit rough because I started working at the age of I was 10, you know, and then I immigrated here when I was 14, you know, thanks to my mom. And then when I came in here, I was 87, 89 pounds. And then my first job, I worked in the gym in my town in Santa Rosa. I was like a little bit janitor working over there and cleaning the gym. And that's how I fell in love with bodybuilding. I meet a couple people and see people posting in the gym at that time, you know, and then so I just, the minute I saw.
The Jack janitor.
Yeah, the minute I saw, I mean, I fell in love and that's what I want to pursue, you know. So, and then over the years, I got deep in there and this is how I am now, you know.
When you started to get into it, was there someone kind of show you how to do it, or you just started grabbing some weights and messing around with it, or you learned from your dad or something like that?
No. I saw my dad working out before, but I never spent very much time with him. When I come in here, I had to give you a credit to one of my good friends. We lost connection, but we reconnect again. His name was Tom Miller. He was a bodybuilder at that time. He introduced me the world of bodybuilding. I was very inspired by him. He have a great physique, you know, and he very much teach me a lot. And then after that, I did my first show as a natural show, and the IFBB, something like that.
Yeah.
At that time in Sacramento, you know, he helped me to do that. And then I got a coach, you know, his name was Chuck Minosa. He worked in Powerhouse in Santa Rosa. And then that was my first show, you know. I did it as experience. I don't take it that serious, you know, but I mean, I did it my best. And then over the years, started doing show until I got to the NPC and I meet a different connection, different friends. And then I start following a different road. Yeah. You know?
How long did it take you to, like, because you've had quite a long run in the NPC. So how long did it take you to get your pro card? How many shows did you have to do?
It took me 14 years. I would say, well, I've been competing for 14 years, but I would say to really get in my pro card, it took me 7 years. You know, it was not an easy road. You know, I'm being around for a while. And, you know, I won multiple titles. I mean, I have 1 5th place. I have a 2 3rd place. I have a 11 second place. I have a 12 wins and 8 overalls. And I have a 3 medals of the first place of the Olympia Amateur. So I attempted to compete in nationals almost 4 times, and I don't get it. So the last time I connect with my last coach, you know, Blue Taylor, and that's how I got my pro card. So basically, it was my 5th time that I got my pro card. But I would say 7 years as a hard work and dedication is what it takes me to get my pro card. And this is what the problem that we have. You know, people think it's very easy to get it. It is, no. You know, I mean, it's a lot of things out there. People say, oh, bodybuilding is dying. Oh, everybody can get a pro card. Oh, it's easy to get pro card. Oh, it's too many shows. It's not like that. It isn't. You know, it isn't. You know, bodybuilding is not for everybody. You know what I mean? Whether you have it or whether you don't. Whether you want to do the work or whether you don't want to do the work. You know, and so that's what it takes. And it takes time. It takes time. You have to give your body the maturity. You have to learn how to treat your body and what give it to your body, what your body needs, because your body's going to tell you what it needs. Your body is going to really talk to you and make sure, you know, you're okay. And more than anything is safe. But, you know, it takes time. It takes time. So people that just want 1 show or 1 in overall or do 2 shows and they wanted to go to her pro card, it's great. But, you know, I mean, some people do it, you know, but, you know, and some people get it, you know, but not all ones are like that. It takes time.
There's not
You
a
know?
sport that's more connected to nutrition than
Exactly.
bodybuilding. I mean, we see a lot of other athletes still kind of eat kind of whatever. You can't always, you know, you can't always associate healthy eating with the way that someone plays on the court, the way that someone plays tennis, the way that someone plays football. It's like, it seems like a mashup of how people eat. It seems like they a lot of times just eat things that maybe don't hurt their stomach, and then they're good. You know,
Exactly.
and they make sure they get enough nutrition, and then they're good.
Exactly.
But with bodybuilding, it's so connected that forget about even doing anything amateur-wise in bodybuilding if you're not absolutely committed and connected to your diet really well.
Yes. The food is a major part on the bodybuilding lifestyle, you know, the nutrition part, you know, the constant eating, the constant digesting, the constant hydrated to your muscle, the constant, you know, you have to measure your sodium, your fats, your protein, your carbs, you know. When off season is important as a pre-contest, you know, a lot of people think, oh no, I am bulking, I am off season. No, you're not. You know, you're just fat. That's what it is. It is the reality. You're just fat. You're no bulking, dude. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I'm in a gaining
So,
period.
yeah, you know, no.
You've been
So-
doing that for a few years now.
Even when you are in off season, you need is still dieting. It's one thing to have a balance. It's another thing to just go and just eat whatever you want. You know, it's not easy. It's a 24/7 sport. You know.
How heavy do you get in your off season? Because
I normally get into 230, 235, you know. This time at this prep, I'm being start at 237 exactly. And then I'm been coming down now, you know. So
And what was your longest off season? Because one thing I noticed is like a lot of bodybuilders, they compete often, but sometimes like some guys compete and their physique doesn't change much. So do you give yourself a good amount of time in your off season?
I have a very long off season, yes, since I turned pro. But before I used to compete 2 times a year in the amateur rank and for nationals, you know.
And are pros supposed to compete more often? Is that
I believe right now how the sport is, we need the pros to compete more often. I believe that. I believe, you know, unfortunately, the lot of big names that we have out there, they are not showing up in these shows are killing our sport. Because, you know, I mean, people wanted to see these pros that people admire, you know, like myself. I wanted to see Nick Walker. I wanted to see, you know, Derek Lamford. I wanted to see Sansundara in different events, you know. So I can go, I can pay the pay-per-view, I can pay, you know, my ticket, I can fly over there, you know. And unfortunately, a lot of ones, they don't do that. A lot of ones, they just focus on the Olympia. And I understand, you know, they have a goal, they have a one big show to, you know, to kill it. But unfortunately, that's what they kill it our sport. So I do believe as a pro, you gotta be able to put yourself out there. You gotta be able to compete, to promote the sport. You know what I mean? So that way, you know, our sport grow. Because that's what we need. We need pros to compete. So that way people can follow that, you know? So, and unfortunately, we don't have that right now. The last show, I saw the big man in Spain last week. It was only 6 competitors.
Oh, really?
6 competitors, you know, and then with the Chicago Pro a week ago, it was almost 7 or 8 competitors, you know. So it is just, you know, I mean, I remember, 10, 15 years ago, you know, I mean, it was a lineup of 20, 23, 30 people, 15 people, you know, and the best of the best. You know, I mean, Jay Cutler competed 4 times in the Arnold's Classic.
Yeah.
You know, Dexter Jackson have almost 54 pro shows wins. Wow. Victor Martinez, you know, I mean, he competed 4 times in the Arnold's Classic. You know, a lot of these all pros are been competing. Melvin Anthony, one of the best bodybuilder and performer, you know, compete so many times. Whether he get into the last place, or I think his last Mr. Olympia was number 6. I mean, but he was competing. And now we don't have that, you know.
You think some of that might have to do with social media and
Some of
the
it
fact
has
that
to-
people can kind of make a
yes.
living off of there, and maybe before you had to really break through, you had to really make a name, so you had to hustle and maybe do more shows?
Unfortunately, that's what it is. Yes, it had to do a lot with that, you know. Unfortunately, we are underpaid, you know. I mean, for right now, for the pro show, you only get a 10,000. 25,000 the most. You know, I mean, if you are top tips in the Olympia is when you make the big money, or Arnold. But
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I mean, if you break everything down, by the time that you dieting, food, coaching, training, taking day off from work because you cannot really work, I mean, that 10,000 doesn't even pay your bills. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, if you don't have a sponsor, you have to pay your own hotel, your own ticket, your own flight rest. So a lot has to do with that too. And I kind of understand that. That's why a lot of pros, they do social media, they they do YouTube, they make money in different sources. A lot of people, they do clothing brand, t-shirts, hats, so they're trying to make money from that, that perspective. But so unfortunately,
does it ever bug you that you have to kind of almost maybe occasionally like stop your workout to make sure you get a good video? Because it is important, right? It's important that we get ourselves out there. So does it annoy you sometimes to do it, or do you like doing social media stuff?
No, I like it. I like it. I like to do it. I think it's important as a pro or even as an amateur to put yourself there so people can recognize your hard work. And when you turn a pro, even you have a more responsibility to because and somehow anybody that is committed to the sport inspires somebody. And somehow somebody's gonna watch you, no matter if you are amateur or pro or you just follow the lifestyle. And if you inspire that person, that's where you win is coming. So I do believe that me doing the videos, the social media, I inspire people and I put it myself out there.
Pat Project Family, we talk about beef and meat all the time on the podcast. That's why we partnered with Certified Piedmontese Beef. But did you know this? That 85% of all grass-fed, grass-finished beef in the United States is imported from other countries? 85%.
Damn.
But Certified Piedmontese is made in the U.S. of A.
America.
Fuck yeah. So go out and get some of the best tasting, some of the leanest, some of the best beef from Piedmontese. Andrew, how can they get it?
Absolutely. So you guys can head over to cpbeef.com and at checkout, enter promo code POWER to save 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, cpbeef.com. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
Fuck yeah. What do you think is like, during your training career, what are some ideas that maybe moved the needle the most for you or helped you grow the most? Because it's interesting. Kenny, we saw Kenny in there. He's 250.
Yes.
He's a big guy, right?
22 years old.
22 years old. Yes.
He's young.
He's a biz.
But then you can tell, like when he stands next to you and Doug, you guys have this maturity to your muscle, like just this density, right? What do you think allows for that over time?
I talked to Kenny one time when I see him in science, I think the best of that and like advice is a time. Time, it will really put you in the right place. I see he is a beast, and he trained really good. He looked like he liked the lifestyle, but he need to be careful lifting, the food wise, the eating. As long as he's careful lifting, as long as he take his time.
What do you mean by being careful? Just maybe not lifting too heavy and not getting too bulky and stuff?
Not necessarily like that. Just, to not get an injury. To not get an injury and things like that. You cannot let the weight control you. You have to control the weight. We don't train for the ego. We train for the sculpture, And as long as he doesn't get injured, and as long as he follow everything, I mean, time will put it here in the right place,
He's going to be crazy.
And then my growth is many years competing is the discipline. The discipline as it is, I mean, you have to treat your body and give your body the respect that your body needs. The off-season is important. It's a pre-contest. I see a lot of people that they do a contest and then after that they just party, they drink, some they do recreation drugs, some they just eat whatever they want. I was talking to you about it. I meet a couple clients that they have a list already where they're gonna eat every day and what restaurant they're gonna visit every week.
Yep. Yeah, what you're gonna eat after the show.
So
right?
you can do that. You can do that because I mean it's you basically you torture your body. You run into a lot of problems. Your blood pressure go high, you bloated, you know what I mean? You accumulate so much sodium, you feel fatigue, you get depression, you know what I mean? You very quickly can pile the pounds the weight right away after the contest if you are not careful. So after the contest, you just have to continue with your diet, have your cheat meals, continue with your training. No intense like it was, but continue with the same routine. So that way you keep yourself healthy, everything works okay, and then you don't go out of your routine.
Are your workouts, do you feel like you're kind of just like bringing a lunchbox into the gym and you're taking it as like it's a day at work, or are you like fired up and like maybe internally mad? Some people kind of use like almost a little bit of self-hatred, and then some people just also just love to train. Kind of where do you fall in that category?
I love the train. I love the train. I love the lifestyle. So, when I get ready for my day, I bring all my meals and everything, and then I'm happy to do that, My beautiful girlfriend cook all my meals, which is 50 meals a week in the refrigerator all the time. So, so I pack all my meals every morning, I make my protein shake fresh. And then, but I love to do that. I love to do that. I love to come into the gym, train, come in with that attitude, Obviously, on contest prep, I'm a little bit low energy here and there. But, the job is still the job.
And 6 to 7 meals a day?
Right now, I'm doing 8 meals a day. Yeah.
Woo.
I start with 10.
Yeah, can you explain the diet? Because I heard a little bit of rumblings in the gym about how your fat intake right now. Can you explain what you're doing there?
Well, right now I have no fats, and then I'm being start my process 18 weeks, almost 17 weeks, and I start with fish and I ending with fish. So I'm feeling like I am a fish in the ocean right now.
Is it tilapia or?
No, I eat cod.
Okay.
Cod is a white fish, at least, I try to do, we have to be very creative. I try to do a fish nugget. I try to do fried fish. I try to burn the fish, boil the fish, whatever I can do, multiple times, but everything is fish.
Yeah.
And then I only have like 160 grams of carbs, which is 80 grams of each meal and 2 meals. So, and the rest is just fish and shredded lettuce. See, and this is important to talk about it because people doesn't see that. People don't see that. People doesn't see what it takes. You know what I mean? People don't
forget about your big cheat during the day with a quarter cup of blueberries.
Oh yes, yeah. That's yes.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
No, I didn't. Yeah. Thanks to my coach. Thanks for the blueberries. Yeah, thanks to my coach. Yeah, but my coach is really good. I mean, he's brutal. He's brutal, but he's really good. He's very detailed. He very much is based in condition. And that's how it works. I used to work with David Patrick, IFBB Pro David Patrick. I mean, he was great too. And he's the one that referred me to Blue Taylor, and Blue is a whole different level, and he's been working with me from my pro, from the time that he prepared me for my pro card, and now he's preparing me for my pro debut. And then it's been great, he's very, very, very professional about it, very detailed about it, constant checking with me, how I feel, how things goes. And that's important. It's important to you have a good coach. It's important to you match with that person, So I really appreciate him,
Why so many meals?
It's because the meals are if you think about it, I mean, I say meals, 10 meals, but they are very small meals, and the fish is the protein that digests very fast, and it's a clean protein. It's not fat in the fish, So it really, I mean, you eat the fish, you eat your meal, and then half an hour later you're hungry again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the shredded lettuce is only for the, to pull you up. That's it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can put green beans if you want, but that's the same. And the master is to put a little bit, a little bit of flavor. That's all.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. That's what we do as a professional. That's what we do to get it where we want it to get,
You can eat fish pretty fast too, which is kind of nice, but then also you're like, man, my meal's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I got another 2.5 hours or 3 hours to watch the clock.
Oh yeah, you're constantly watching the clock, you're constantly watching, you watch and see when is your next meal,
How about sleep, like your recovery? I feel like, what does your recovery routine look like in general?
In the contest prep right now, I mean, I wish I can sleep more, but normally my sleep is almost 6 hours, unfortunately, because I work with a lot of clients, But I'm trying to take naps here and there between clients, and then I do a lot of deep tissue massage. I do the calf massage, you know, and then, and that's, that's all what I do. The deep tissue massage and the cup massage has been helping me a lot, you know, to recover, you know, and the sleep, obviously, you know what I mean? And the days that I don't train too, you know, I have it a full day that I don't train, you know, which is nice, you know, I just relax, I forget
One
about the
time a
gym.
week?
Yes, it's normally Sundays, you know. I relax, I don't do anything, I just sit at home, you know.
What about stretching or anything like that?
I do a stretching after my workout. I stretch here and there, you know, to keep the muscle and the blood pumping, you know, and then you know, and then but it's not as intense as off season, because unfortunately, when it's a prep time, everything is in the go, you know. I mean, you have to take your time, but I mean, you know, if you think about it, you know, we have life, you know, we have a work. Someone's you know, I am a part-time dad. You know what I mean? I have a home, you know, so, I have a work. So, you know, my training, go at my training and then do my posting and then do my cardio and then coming home, you know, get ready for the next day, you know.
Do you really think like full range of motion is super important, or you do partial range, or you do a mix?
I do mix, but I like a full range of motion. I feel better pump with that. But I like a mix, you know.
Do you care much about like heavy weights? Because I noticed when we were training today, you were focusing on the form of everything you were doing, and even though the weight you were using wasn't extremely heavy, you were moving it super well. So do you think like some guys, do they lift too heavy sometimes?
No, not really. You know, sometimes you see these people in the gym that they're trying to carry so much weight. You know, you gotta understand that. You know, you cannot let the weight control you. You know, the weight is going to come on time. You know, as long as you have a good form and as long as you feel the pump and the muscle, you know, is what matters. You know, in off season, when I have all the food and all the nutrients with me, I do care a lot of weight, you know, not insane, but I do care a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But in practice, and the prep, for a show, you know, I am carefully what I care, you know. That doesn't mean I care light, but I do carefully when I lift it, because you deplete, you tire, you know, you don't have enough carbs, so you very easily can get injured. Yeah. And the last time that you need is to get injured like 6-5 weeks before the show.
With coaching other people, do you, you know, you're utilizing cardio, I'd imagine, you know, at this stage. Do you usually recommend cardio for people to do? And then secondly, where do you have them put that? Is that before a workout, after a workout, on a quote unquote off day?
Yeah. I believe cardio is a very important for everybody. You know, to my clients, I normally require cardio after the workout. But, it's a lot of controversial about that question, because a lot of people feel like they need to do cardio before workout so that way they warm up the muscle. And that's okay too. I used to do that too, you know.
And maybe for some people that don't really love it, maybe just like, hey, you got to do these 30 minutes you know, on the Stairmaster before you can even see me for the day.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they all have excuses. They all can do it. They all do this. They all do that. So I'm used to do that. But normally I do put in my clients a lot of cardio, you know. I do myself a lot of cardio, you know. So I am right now in like almost hour and 10 minutes cardio a day, 6 days a week, you know.
Off season, do you still get a certain amount of steps each day, or do you try to get in cardio in your off season? Or
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. In my off season, I still do at least half an hour, 25 minutes cardio every day, 6 days a week, to maintain, you know, myself and maintain myself a little healthy, you know. You got to keep yourself healthy. This is the problem where we have with so many bodybuilders that they're wrong at a problem or something happened. You know, we've been having so many passes in the last few years, you know, and it is because, you know, some people don't take precautions. You know, you have to be responsible when you do this, which means if you're going to follow the sport, you need to know where you get yourself into. And you need to follow the responsibilities, which is, you know, do your blood work, you know, check yourself constantly with your doctor, you know, do your cardio, eat your veggies, you know. Try to maintain yourself healthy so that way you don't run out of problems. Because it's going to be one moment in time that your body's just going to keep it up. You know what I mean? And so far, the bodybuilding world is a little bit extreme, you know? And imagine if you don't follow those precautions. It could be worse, you know?
And if you do get your blood work back, you know, you might have to pause.
Exactly.
You might have to put on pause the goals that you had.
Exactly.
Which I think is hard for people to do.
Exactly. Yes.
Because I think a lot of these guys do get their blood work done, but then they're like, it's only 6 more weeks till the show. And I don't know.
And they're pushing, you know. When you start pushing the envelope, that's when the problems happens. You know, you got to know how to get your limitations, you know. So, yeah.
We were talking earlier about that unfortunate accident that happened with that kid that was squatting.
Yes.
This guy died
In Malaysia,
squatting. I
yeah.
think he was like trying to squat like 460 pounds or something like that. And he was making really good progress week by week. I saw like a breakdown of what happened, not necessarily of the actual incident itself, but the lead up to it. And his coach was spotting him from behind and giving him a little bit of assistance from behind on many squats. But previously, before that, he was squatting with the safety hooks in there inside the rack because he was lifting by himself. His coach gave him some assistance, which is actually a pretty good method to utilize to get a little stronger sometimes in the squat. Either that or like knee sleeves or something like that. But what ended up happening was, once you get to a certain weight, even if you're a strong person, it's really hard to spot somebody, from the back like that. But
yes, it is.
Anyway, my whole point in bringing this up is I think, unfortunately, I think that kid died from social media.
Yes.
Because I think that he probably saw somebody else lifting. He probably was like pumped and encouraged by that and felt like for him to be complete and for him to feel better, that him squatting more weight would have been something that would have made him feel better. Would have, he was doing it with all the best intentions.
Exactly.
He's like, this goal is going to be fun, and I'm going to have a coach, and they're going to help me, and so on. And I also think that the other side of that too is it was filmed for social media, which is another side of it. And it just puts us in a really interesting spot because I don't know what to think of it. I obviously film a lot of stuff for social media. I always have goals to get stronger. I always have goals to get better. And, my son lifts I can't even imagine how horrific something like that would be to go through. Someone just tries to do a squat in the gym. They're just trying to get a little stronger for the day. And, you end up with this tragic accident. But I think we have to be careful with our goals versus somebody else's goals and the weight that we use in comparison to somebody else.
Right.
We got to be really careful that we're not comparing ourselves to other people, and we give ourselves time. It's going to take time for you to get big, for you to get strong, for you to get shredded, for you to look like a professional bodybuilder. This doesn't happen within 3 years. Doesn't happen in 5 years. It's going to probably take decades.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. And that's what I'm talking about. It takes time to get to that level, and that I saw that accident too, and it was an accident that can be prevented. And I feel like, he was at 26 years old too, and I feel like, the social media has a lot of responsibility about what things are going around. Not necessarily for this accident, but I feel like it's related to. But, it's unfortunately that, whatever it works for me, it's not going to work for certain people. It's not going to work for somebody else, So we got to be very careful what we do because social media is taking us to a storm and it's taking the sport, not just the bodybuilder, to everything, And so people really try to replicate those idols, those people, those people they admire, those pros, whatever you do, and it's not necessarily it's going to work that way, some people, some people really go to the extreme, whether something worked for somebody else, that doesn't mean it's going to work for me, it takes years to get to that level. More than anything, you cannot rush this sport. You can, you have to take your time. You have to get to know your body.
Have you learned that the hard way a couple times before?
I'm being very lucky that I've been lifting for almost 20 years and I have not had an injury except just one that I almost tore my tricep.
Wow.
And that is because I'm being prevented a lot. I'm being, carefully. I warm up and things like that. 20 years to have only 1 or 2 injuries is just a good thing. You know what I mean? It's very impressive, So I'm being very lucky about that. Obviously, I run in pain here and there, because the muscles are wear and tear, my knees and, joints. But, to have major injury, except my triceps, I not have that, But, I'm being very careful in the gym. I don't train for the ego. I train for the sculpture, what I mean? And I do what I got to do to make the muscle change, So I learned different style training with different people, And so I feel like it works for me, And so if I see somebody that carries so much weight, it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? It doesn't really bother me,
Just go like this.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
For him. Man, that's great.
You know what I mean?
That was really cool that you did that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, Yeah.
Power Project family, if you're trying to increase your muscle mass, if you're trying to lose body fat, if you're trying to stick to your nutrition plan, if you're trying to get fit, pretty much if there's anything you're trying to do for your health, we know that sleep is the biggest determining factor to help you get from point A to point B. That's why we've been sleeping on 8 Sleep mattresses for probably more than 2 years now. And the main reason is the technology behind the Pod Pro. Now, the Pod Pro is like the Tesla of beds. It will change its temperature based off of how you're sleeping during the night. And if you have a partner that's sleeping on the other side, they could have their own temperature settings. We all sleep hot here, and I used to wake up in a puddle of my own sweat.
Gross.
That doesn't happen anymore because of the 8 Sleep mattress, and I've been getting the best sleep of my life. Now, if you don't want to replace your mattress, you can just get the Pod Pro cover, and you can put that over your current mattress to get all the benefits of 8 Sleep. But if you also need to replace your old nasty mattress, you can get the Pod Pro cover and the 8 Sleep mattress. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, you guys got to head over to 8sleep.com/powerproject, and you guys will automatically receive $150 off of your order. Again, 8sleep.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
You had a situation where you nearly died.
Yes.
Not too long ago. What was that from?
I was in 2020, I believe, or 21. Yeah, 2020. What happened is I was getting ready for the North Americans. I was 4 weeks out. I was with my coach, David Patrick, and everything was great. I feel it's so amazing. I mean, I think that was one of my best shape too. And then all of a sudden, I got COVID. So this is what happened in the pandemic. The gym was closed, everything was closed, but the gym was open here and there for citrus people. And the owner, Science, they will allow me to train over there. So, and I got COVID. So I started feeling really sick one day, and the next day I was just, I could breathe at all. So I had to rush to the emergency.
How scary was that?
It was very scary. I had to rush to the emergency. And then I stayed in the emergency for 20 to 27 days. I lost 30 pounds. They put it in me under so many medications and black thinner and thing. And because I was getting ready for competition, so I was big, so they were kind of a little bit worried about me having a blood clot. So the blood clot was a problem. So, and I ended up losing 30 pounds.
Did you have a vaccine shot, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I didn't have it at that time, and they put it in me in the ventilator for 4 days. And then normally when you go to the ventilator, I mean, you don't get out of there. So luckily my oxygen come back. The main thing, it was my oxygen. We normally, as a humans, we normally needed like 106, 109 in oxygen. I got to the hospital, I'm 74 in oxygen. I was purple when I got to the hospital.
Just real shallow breaths?
Yes, I could not breathe. I could not breathe over my nose. I could not breathe over my breath. I could not breathe. It was like I was breathing to a stroke, to a little stroke. I was breathing. It was and then a big guy like me, I needed a lot of oxygen. I needed more than normal people. So so I ended up staying over there for 27 days, 28 days. I lost 30 pounds. I mean, it was a very big moment for me. I thought I was not gonna make it, And then when they put me in the ventilator, was the more worst part. And being over there alone, because at that time, nobody can visit you at the hospital. It was even harder, So, but luckily, I feel like, God was with me. I feel like it was not my time. I feel like I am in this world for purpose. So luckily, I get out of there. And then I started, getting back, to my normal routine, getting back to the gym. Yeah. And then after 1 month, that's when I tore my tricep. That put me back to 4 months training and everything, And then after that, luckily everything passed. And then I
probably got excited. You probably started to feel good again, and then boom, right?
Yeah, I rebound really fast, And I've been training for so long, so the body have a lot of memory, The body, that was my tricep.
There's the bruises of it, yeah.
The body have a muscle memory, so
all the way down to your wrist.
Yeah, I didn't do the surgery. I fixed everything with deep tissue massage, cup massage. The
tricep works good now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I even care more
today. Yeah.
I even care more heavy than I used to care. So but I mean, things happens. So that was the major accident that happened to me.
You feel like your mindset maybe did it change much after that? Like,
yes.
Near death experience has got to probably have
a
a different perspective
definitely.
on life.
Absolutely, making me appreciate it more where I am. Day by day, what I do, my kids, life, everything, and especially, my health. That's the major thing. It's definitely change your life.
You know, a lot of guys are trying to get their pro card and they've been competing for a while. And one thing that you'll hear from guys, some guys tend to say, oh, the judges don't like me, or oh, this is rigged, or this or that. But you kept competing until you got your pro card.
Yes.
So did you ever get a feeling that like it just wasn't for you? I'm just wondering how you just managed to continue to persevere and not make excuses for yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Not necessarily my pro card, but I got 12 second place. Oh. By the time they got my 10 second place, I said, oh man, this is not for me. They don't like me. You know, maybe because I'm Spanish. It's like just joking. It's not that, you know, but I did that about it's not for me. I thought it was in the wrong sport. And a lot of people, you know, no, you're too big. No, you're not in condition. No, you're too small. No, you this, you that. But you know what? Something inside of me, it was always keeping me going. And I know inside of me that I was going to win.
I like that.
Inside of me,
I like that it took you 10 second place finishes to get there. 12. 12. I'd get like 2 or 3 and be like, oh man, they just don't.
I know.
Yeah,
so, you know, and then, so after that, let me tell you that after that, as soon as I won the first place, I started winning. Mm-hmm. And then I won my overalls, and I have 8 overalls, you know. It's not easy to have 8 overalls. Mm-hmm. And I have 3 medals of the Amateur Olympia, first place. You know, and it's not easy that, you know. So, and then I started winning. So as soon as the thing is, where I learned, and this is my personal experience, where I learned is when you treat the sport as a job and you don't enjoy, that's the problem. That is when you really bring the negativity into your head, into your brain, because you do it because you have to do it. When you treat the sport and you enjoy the sport and you believe in your hard work and you really, really believe in yourself that you can make things happen, that's when things happens. And it takes mentality to get it to that level. It really do. I do believe it in the very positive energy. I do believe in surrender yourself with the right people, you know? So what happened is after that 12 second place, you know, I decide to distance myself from everybody and shut down myself and just focus in one win. And then that's what I did. And then I win, and then I win again, and then I win, and then I consecutively win. I get the judges to know me. I was very friendly with them. You know, I put myself out there. You know, I put in social media, Facebook at that time. And then after that, it's just happening. But what I noticed is that I was not treating the sport of bodybuilding as a job. I was not cranky or angry to go to work out or say, oh, I had to go work out today. I was not that. I was enjoying it. I was living my life. I was having balance. I was training my clients, go home, do my personal things, you know, doing my balance. And that's
almost,
when I start.
Like nothing to lose.
Nothing to
lose.
Like
I came in second so many times. Fuck it. Here we go.
And everything started falling into place. And all of a sudden, I start collecting wins and I start collecting overalls until I got my pro card. And that's what happens. That's what a lot of people, you know, going through that process. I know somebody going through that process right now. You know, you know, and then they go into that process, and what happens is the thing they're not for them. But it's just, you know, it's just you have to switch that mentality. You have to know how to have the balance. You know, so at least that's what it takes to me. To learn. You know, so
what you got over there, Andrew?
You said you were 87 pounds?
Yes.
How the hell did you gain so much weight? I know a lot of people want to know.
20 years training.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years training, 14 years competing. You know, I was 87 pounds when I was 13, 14. Yeah, I mean, they make a lot of fun of me in my town. They were picking on me all the time. You know, I was a skinny kid in the town, you know. So, but, you know, I mean, over the years, I started, you know, training little by little, you know, getting information. Hire coaches, you know, learn from here, from there, take a brain from somebody, take a brain from different people, and then, you know, and then combine everything and then get in my own style, you know, and then that's how it happens.
When did you kind of like realize that you could make a big change?
After I win, my first win. My first win is when I realized that I can really, really change this around and make it as career and maybe make it as it has something in there, you know. They had that potential, you know.
I meant like more so like when you were young, when you were 87 pounds and, you know, you go to the gym and you weigh like 100 pounds or something like that. It's probably very discouraging and it takes time, right?
Yes. It
so when did you kind of realize like, you know, that, oh shit, I think I really can like not just make small changes in my body. I think I can make big changes in my body.
Yeah. After when I would say 87 pounds, I was still, when I got here, even when I was 100 pounds, 115 pounds, I was still very, very shy. Suffer from anxiety and, little bit, not talking to anybody. But I realized maybe 2-3 years later when I start getting myself confident, and I start put it in the way little by little, and then connected with the right people. They show me, the popular guy in the gym. I was buddy with them, so trying to be in their corner so that way people recognize me, And that's when I realized, I said, oh, okay, this is a good spot, so I gotta keep myself going, Yeah. And then I start, little by little, I start working myself up, into all the sudden, I start getting 150, 170, and everything goes and goes and goes.
You have a lot of patience. Do you think that comes from, coming to this country and maybe not understanding the language as well?
Yes,
and
it is.
Just having to figure a lot lot of shit out on your own, it sounds like.
Yes, it is. It is. It has to come in from, where I come from. It's a little bit more patient. It's a little bit more taking my time. It's a little bit more. I am the kind of person that I had to see and I had to analyze what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it and how it's gonna work. If I go to a prep, I had to figure out every single thing, what it's going to work, how it's going to work financially and this and that, and my schedule and this and that, in order to me decide to get into a prep, So it had to do a lot with the patients, and that had to do a lot with the culture that I coming from,
Having worked with, multiple coaches that have probably coached pro bodybuilders, right? What, if somebody is a bodybuilder and they're working with somebody, what do you think might be some red flags of oh, maybe I should find another coach? What do you think people should look out for?
Every coach is very unique. And what I learned as a coach too is that you gotta give the coach the opportunity to work with you and to get to know you. Yeah. It had to be extremely a good coach to really give you that win or give you that pro card. In my case, Blue gave it to me, the pro card in my first shot, but I already started training for a long time ago. I was with David Patrick, I was with Alex Azarian, I trained with other people too. So, and then he polished me basically, and then his routine and everything. But you have to give it the opportunity to that coach to get to know you. A lot of people doesn't have the patience. That's when it comes to patience is, when you get a coach, you gotta give that coach the opportunity to get to know you, to get to know your body, to get to know what your body like, what your body doesn't like, to get to find you the right spot so that way you can pick and that way you can prep right and listen the process and trust the process. But people doesn't do that. They're very hard to do, including myself before. They don't do that. They start lying. They start saying, oh, I'm following the diet. They don't follow the diet. They say, oh, I'm eating my meals, and they're eating something else. I'm eating my calories, and they're eating more calories than what it's supposed to,
They'd rather blame the coach.
And then they blame the coach. After the last, they say, oh, no, the coach is the problem, the coach, It's not that. It's not the problem, is you. That's not the problem, dude. That's not the problem. You have to be a very reckless coach in order to blame that coach. But the coach is not the problem, is you. You're not the one. People think because they hire you. The coach is not going to be your mom. The coach is not going to be your dad. The coach is only your coach.
Yeah.
That's not your therapist. So you got to do the job regardless to whatever.
You have to be very proactive.
You have to, exactly.
If you're a client, you have to be very proactive and communicate with the coach a lot.
You have to ask
a lot of questions. You might be kind of a pain in the ass, but I think that's what you need to do.
And you have to listen to them. You have to listen to them, and you have to follow where the rules are and where it is. So, when I remember, I one of the things too that people, I don't know if people know, some people know, this, I hate fish. I hate it. I really hate it. I really do. And you know why? Because I grow in Brazil and in Peru, and because we eat fish all the time. So I hate it. So when I come into this country, all I eat is a steak, chicken, So when I got with Blue, I told Blue that I hate fish. And the first thing that he told me, and then I ain't know the coach for you. That's what he told me. Yeah. Like I said, wait. We can work it out something. And he said, okay, it gotta be fish. Otherwise, I know the coach for you. And that's what it was.
What's his theory on fish? What makes fish superior?
Fish is the source of protein. There's a clean protein. Even chicken breasts have a 2% fat. Fish have no fat. And fish give it to you that texture, the skin peel skin, you know, it's a different kind of muscle. It's a different kind of condition that you get, and you get lean fast. You get very lean. I experienced myself, you know, you get lean very fast. I remember I was looking at broadcast a long time ago. Kevin Lebrone was 2 months with fish, 12 ounces of fish every day, 2 months, 8 weeks with fish, and he was getting to that sting condition. You know, when you see the skin, the paper skin, that's the fish. You know, when you see somebody that's holding water, when you see somebody that the skin is not that texture, that means he wasn't chicken. You know, a fish is not fish is not replaceable. Fish will bring you in condition no matter what.
Shit. Yeah, I remember I only did one bodybuilding show, but I just remember like asking a lot of questions, and I was like, "Can I eat this?" And my coach was like, "Nope." I was like, "What about this?" He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Why don't you just follow what I sent you?" And I'm like, everything on there doesn't look very good, you know?
Right.
And he's just had like these theories on like, you know, dairy, like making you hold more water between the skin. And I'm like, yeah, I might as well just listen. I mean, what am I doing? Why am I asking him so many questions? Why don't I just
paying somebody? You might as well listen to what
shut
they
the
say.
hell up and listen to him.
Exactly.
And it's, you know, it's asparagus. It's not broccoli, you know, it's like, I don't know, just coaches get very specific depending on the coach.
Oh yeah, they get very, and some ones are very brutal. I remember it was my birthday a couple months ago. I told my coach, my girl is going to cook some steak and broccoli. No, fish.
Oh man, not even on the fucking birthday.
Yeah, it's a bread mood. Don't ask anymore. That's what he texts me. You know, don't ask anymore.
TRT, it's a popular topic. A lot of guys are hopping on it. It's something that we've talked about a lot. And you might think you're a candidate, but how would you know if you haven't got your blood work done and you don't know where your markers are? That's why we've partnered with Merrick Health, owned by Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And the cool thing about Merrick is you'll get your blood work done, and you'll also have a patient care coordinator that can help you analyze your blood work, analyze your testosterone, all these other markers to help you actually figure out if you're someone who needs TRT, because there could be things that you could be doing nutritionally, with supplements, or even with your lifestyle that can boost your testosterone to the levels that they should actually be at. Andrew, how can they get their hands on it?
Yes, that's over at merrickhealth.com/Power Project. And at checkout, enter promo code Power Project to save 10% off the Power Project panel, the checkup panel, or any individual lab that you select. Again, that's at merrickhealth.com/Power Project. Promo code Power Project at checkout. Links in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
We had years ago, we had Chris Aceto on the podcast, and he said that people will email him all the time and they'll say, "Hey, well, what about a cheat meal?" He said, "I've never answered one of those emails ever." He's like, why is this guy who wants to be a pro bodybuilder asking me about a cheat meal?
Exactly. Yeah, my coach doesn't believe in cheat meals either. No cheat meals. You know, I don't even bother to ask you anymore. I know the good thing about me is that I'm very adjustable. So I really can adjust it very quick to somebody. You know what I mean? So when I got him, it was rough because he have a different style and his diets are a little bit, a little bit intense, but I adjusted very fast, you know? And then I feel like because he probably see my progress and my hard work, he probably put attention, more attention. Not that he don't put attention, he's very attention to all his clients. So, so now, I mean, he is very detailed with me, constantly checking on me, which is, I appreciate it a lot, But I don't even bother myself for cheat meal or anything, not even for Diet Coke.
What would you say, what is the fun part of your diet? What do you look forward to each day? Is it your Crystal Light? Like, what is it?
The Crystal Light, yeah. The blueberries.
The blueberries.
The blueberries. But we start with the cream of rice. We start with the cream of rice. And then when we cut the cream of rice, that is the broken heart. that heart more like a breakup.
You send him a broken heart emoji?
Yes. That is like you're getting divorced, that's the broken heart. That's the cream of rice is the worst part. Because at least you're eating the cream of rice, and then you put some blueberries in there, so you it's like a dessert. You know what I mean? You're looking forward for that. But as soon as he cut that, oh man, that's the torture.
I know some bodybuilders, they like think all these weird things taste really good when they're in the prep because they haven't had anything that's actually good in like a really long time.
Exactly.
They're like, here, taste this apple cider vinegar. It's delicious. You're like, that's the most sour stuff ever. What are you talking about?
Mustard.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Shit. Yeah, I remember I go one time with the national show in the Olympia, and I was getting my food, and somebody told me, here, try this mustard. this is a different kind of mustard. I buy organic. It's organic mustard. I said, okay. It's the same shit. Like same mustard that I buy in the dollar store. Same mustard. He said, I paid $10 for that mustard. It's organic. It's the best. You should try. Incorporate it to your diet. I said, okay. It's the same, exactly the same like the dollar mustard that I buy in the dollar store.
Yellow mustard, yellow mustard.
Yeah, so it's just funny how they are, So.
Do you coach any non-competing athletes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of people. I coach a girl that she was getting ready for her wedding. I coached before a girl that she was pregnant. I coach a lot of guys that they just wanted to be healthy.
So for like that demographic of people, how do you help them stick to their diet, right? Because I think compliance on the diet is like the hardest part for most people.
Yeah.
Do you have any tricks or anything that you can help advise people to stay on track?
Yeah. The thing what I learned, and this is for me, I'm sure other coaches have a different technique, and everybody have their own opinion. But what I learned is I am not trying, when somebody hire me, I am not trying to make their life miserable. I'm not trying to, to be mad at them. Or some of my clients, they're even afraid of me. Some of them even, scared to tell me something, But I'm not trying that. What I'm trying to introduce them is the lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle, slowly diet, You cannot train, you cannot really coach somebody extreme like somebody that's going to do a contest prep, unless we look what the goal is. If somebody told you, I had 3 months to get in shape, obviously. But if somebody just wanted to be healthy, you have to slowly, introduce him the food, the diet, and take foods away slowly, making progress each week, every 2 weeks, constantly check and be truthful, you know what I mean? Be truthful, be honest, But you cannot really right away take it away from them, their food or everything, because they get mad and then they don't hire you anymore, and they start lying to you, I mean, I have a client, one time I have a client, he was doing a contest prep, and then all of a sudden I called him very quick, and I said, how you doing? I said, oh, good, coach. Very good, very good. How's the work? How's the diet? Oh, it's good. I'm eating my meal right now. And I was walking to the mall. Myself, I was going to get in shoes. I'm eating my meal right now, coach. Everything good? Yeah, good. So passing to the mall, I see he in the courthouse eating panda. And he was talking to me in the phone.
Hey, wow.
And he was talking to me on the phone. And I was kind of like, he is white. White, he got purple. He got purple to see me. He almost spit the food. And then he wanted me to sit down and have a conversation with him. And then he told me that he gone through divorce.
Oh.
He started going to me so many things, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, But I mean, it's just, you cannot really, force somebody. Somebody had to do the job, And the best thing to do is just slowly start cutting their macros, cutting their food, cutting the bad hobbies, And that's how they make progress, Because if you're gonna cut it right away, things. I mean, it's not gonna work. The body doesn't need it. The body can't handle those kind of pressure unless you are a next level athlete. You are used to that. But if you're somebody that you just wanted to lose weight, if you're somebody that you don't have experience in the gym, if you're somebody that you don't have experience to eat healthy, the body can handle that pressure. I mean, imagine you are 16 and your daddy take your Ferrari away from you. What are you gonna do? You're probably going to break the window. You're probably going to be mad at you that. So you can't do that. You slowly have to graduate that person and teach him the right way to eat. Combined with the training and the cardio, and then eventually he's going to get the point.
What's your stance on like protein shakes and protein bars for just the regular people that are not competing?
I don't take protein bars, and I don't recommend protein bars because they're high in sugar. I do recommend protein shakes, and I only work with one that's Steel. I'm working with that company too right now for some sponsorship. Hopefully it happens, because I feel like Steel is a very good brand. I mean, I use it myself. I like all the products, and I do recommend that, but a lot of people cannot really digest protein shakes, I mean, it's a lot of kind of protein shakes. There's one that's made by soy. There's one that make it by egg powders. Some people have a hard time to digest that, And some people that just don't like protein shakes. Some people like organic protein shakes. So it depends of each person, you know. That's why before I get a client, I have to get to know them, you know, and ask all those kind of questions: where they eat, how is their normal lifestyle, you know, how much they drink, they smoke, you know, and things like that. And based on that is when I create the diet and do all these things, you know, and see how it is. And not necessarily one diet is going to work for them. Sometimes I have to change it 2-3 times, you know, to work.
You have to meet people where they're at sometimes.
Exactly.
You find out that the person really loves candy, and then you replace their candy with protein bars, and maybe that
that maybe work.
That helps,
exactly. Exactly. You know?
Cool.
One last question here, because people are always asking this particular question, and I think we had an amazing workout. But it's interesting how intuitive you guys are. For yourself, do you have like a set program, like where you're like, I'm doing shoulders, and then you have these 3 exercises that you know that you're doing, and so on? Or do you kind of get to the gym and maybe you have a set, maybe you have a split that you follow, but maybe the rest of it you fill it in as for feel and stuff like that? How do you handle that?
Particular for me, excuse me, when I am off season, I normally go to the gym and I just follow whatever my body's gonna take me. But when it's a prep time, I have a plan. I normally 2-3 hours, so when I drive it to work or things like that, I start thinking, visualize what I'm gonna do and what part I'm gonna hit. I normally know a week before my split parts, you know. I never do back and legs the next day, you know, because it's a very heavy amount, you know. But I normally know my splits a week before, and every day I normally plan my workout. If I'm gonna hit shoulders, I know what I'm gonna hit. I know what machine I'm gonna use. I know I'm gonna do free weights, you know, machines, you know. Right now, because it's a prep time, you know, I am more capable with machines, you know, and a lot of intensity, and I just do the free weights when it's necessarily. You know, and the body parts, I still squatting, thank God, you know. So, you know, but I normally have a plan. Every day I normally have a plan where I'm gonna hit and how I'm gonna perform in the gym, you know. And then, you know, during the week is when I do my splits, where I'm gonna hit Monday, where I'm gonna hit Wednesday, you know. So
yeah, to me, I've always liked that style of like I may not have like a set program that was given to me particularly by a coach, or it might not be something I wrote out like weeks in advance. But to me, like your pre-workout starts sometimes after the last training session that you did. So like, let's say you train legs on like Tuesday. To me, the prep for Tuesday legs starts right when that Tuesday leg workout's over with. Start to think in your head like, oh, that was really good. I think I did a lot of things right there, but a couple of these exercises didn't feel right. Didn't feel that good. And next time, you know, let me write it down and make a mental note because then the next workout can even be better.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, and some people are like that. Yeah. I had no have that kind, you know, the split or that kind of mentality. But I mean, you know, everybody have their own style. You know, everybody can, you know, everybody know how to do whatever the best. You know,
it looks like in working out with you today that you. Go to failure here and there, but maybe not on every set all the time on everything, right?
Yeah, no. I normally go to failure when it's a legs workout. Yeah, when it's a leg workout, my stronger parts are legs and back. You know, that was my stronger parts. You know, when I go legs and back, I try to go heavy and as failure as I can. You know?
So actually, how do you handle weak points? Like if you got a show done and your judge is like, okay, these are your weak points, do you hammer that more than other body parts?
Yes. Right now, my weak points are my hamstrings and my glutes. So I'm trying to do that 3 times a week. Okay. You know, I'm trying to do it 3 times a week, trying to hammer it as much as I can, you know. And that is too advice from my coach, you know, to hammer those things up, you know. So time it will grow, you know. I'm doing the right thing to make it grow, you know, and to get it in there, you know. So yeah, believe it or not, I was 100 and I believe 191 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, you know. See, where people don't understand is that bodybuilding is an illusion. It's in a sculpture, you know. It's in a culture to see the muscle detail, the fibers in the muscle, you know. It's not a volume, you know. I mean, obviously volume is kind of coming, you know, when you stand with the big pros, with big boys, but it's coming over the years, you know. But through that process, it's a sculpture.
Yeah, I think I saw Greg Doucette post a picture a couple days ago, and he was like, I was 157 on stage, and he looked great.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be deceiving because someone that's 150, 170, 180,
Yeah.
so on, can look really, really big when they're super lean.
Absolutely. Look at last year, Sean Clarito. He won the Lion Region on 177 pounds. You know, beat him up so many big guys. Wow. Sergio Oliva Jr. beating up Regan Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
Cedric McMillan, you know. Sean Clarito, 177 pounds, 212. Beat him up everybody. A lot of those 212 guys are really killing it. You know what I mean? And I think it has a lot to do with the condition. See, before we used to go to the condition. Now I feel like now we come back to that era, to the condition and the symmetry, you know?
Maybe
because we've been...
like Bumstead and some people like that.
Exactly. Chris Bumstead is one of the biggest, you know, influence, you know, in the sport. But we've been getting out of the era of the big monsters, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, as a humans, as a society, this is where we like to see, you know, the freaks. You know, everybody loves Nick Walker, you know? So, I mean, who's the, you know? But it's impressive, you know. But I feel like the sport is changing more to the 90s era, you know, with the condition is taking lot of, which is good, you know, which is healthy, is good. And I think it keep it to better look to the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the 212s are killing it right now. And if you see a lot of the top pros are really, you know, the guys that they are in there, they are really conditioned. They're really, you know, symmetrical. You know
I think a lot of people would like to look like Chris Bumstead or
Exactly.
even look anywhere near close to anything he's been able to build.
Exactly.
But maybe a Nick Walker, you might be like, no, I think that's really cool. It's interesting, but I don't know. Like,
Exactly.
he looks like the Incredible Hulk.
It's impressive. It's impressive, you
It's
know.
just
But I don't
amazing,
think
yeah.
very many people want to look like that. You know, it's not for everybody. You know, but I think, like you say, I agree. A lot of people would like to look like a classic physique, like a Chris Bumstead or classic physique. You know, I think it takes more attention, and it looks a lot more healthy. I believe. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I hope this is the era that we're going to go. You know, it looks like so far it's moving to that era. Looking, you know, the bodybuilders right now, like, you know, Samson Dada, you know, Rafael Brando, Derek Lamford, you know, all these people that are coming in there, they're all very symmetrical. They're all very genetic, you know what I mean? And
Andrew
they are, Andrew Jack, exactly, they're pretty bodies. You know, they're big, but they are not very heavy too. Some ones are heavy, you know, but some ones are, you know, lighter, and they keep it then healthy, you know. And so I feel like it's a better look for the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, we always gonna like the freakies, you know.
Where's your next show?
It's gonna be the Lion Region. It's gonna be in 10 weeks in Reno. So I am doing, you know, my pro debut there. I'm gonna measure my caliber with the big boys and try to measure my caliber with the 212 and the masters too. So we see what's going on in there, you know. This is going to be my first time as a pro. So I'm putting everything what I can, you know, and then hopefully this turn good.
You being around for a long time, I imagine you kind of have an idea who's showing up at the show, right?
Yeah, I do, you know, I do. I mean, you know, but I mean, you know, all you have to do is just believe in yourself. You cannot get intimidated, you know. You know, you have to believe in your hard work, you know, and just the fact the standing in there with the people that I admire, for me, is a win. You know what I mean? I mean, doing this for a long time, you know, I'm 45 now, you know, and be standing around the people that, you know, that I'm being admired for a long time, I mean, to me, it's a win, you know? And so now it's just a matter of trust my hard work, trust my coach, the process, and see where, you know, it's going to take me. You know, that's what it's going to measure me, the caliber that I am.
Where can people follow along with what you're doing?
I am in social media. You can find me on YouTube, IFBB Pro Rico Rivas, Instagram, IFBB Pro Rico Rivas, and Facebook, IFBB Pro Rico Rivas.
Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you guys enjoyed this episode with IFBB Pro Rico Rivas, check out this episode with world champion bodybuilder Kendall Richmond. We went into a lot of fun stuff in here. You'll enjoy it. Click it right now. I don't know why you're still here. Well, are you still here? Do you care about the way you're currently living your life? Have you accepted the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to be